So what I hear from you is that every customer is unique. They have unique financial circumstances.
Yes, yes.
So you cannot go prescribing blanket solutions or generic solutions. So you have to listen.
You have to listen a lot
to get to understand their financial circumstances.
Yes.
And then from there is when you start prescribing a solution.
Yes.
Which comes in form of your like an investment plan.
Yes.
That you put together by the information and your information.
And I also work a lot with our investment team.
Yes.
Because also this will be determined by the market. How is the market? So it involves a lot the information I'm getting, the support from my investment team, and what the client is providing. So we work together. That journey. So it's not about Moses alone. There is a support behind Moses that is working to service this client.
I just feel we probably need to touch a little bit more. What is an investment plan?
Okay. Thank you. So when we meet...
And why is it so important for this journey?
Actually, we start with what we call investment or client brief. When I meet with you, Pius, when I do all this, I take Pius needs a passive income. Pius needs to acquire a home at this time, at maybe in 5 years' time. When I do this is what we call the client brief. Now I go and sit down and do an investment plan. An investment plan, it's a roadmap. The journey, where we are going, at least we put this now on paper or in the form of a proposal and say, Pius wants to start this home ownership journey or this passive income, generating a 1 million passive income, and this is what he has right now, and he's able to fund this. So we do some projections with the current interest rate in different funds. First of all, I've assessed your risk. I've known Pius is either aggressive, is either moderate or neutral, or risk averse, and then I've checked what we call risk capacity, because risk appetite and risk capacity people confuse. I can come here and say, I want the one that will grow my money. I'm ready to take the risk. But when I assess the risk capacity, I realize you don't qualify there, because risk capacity is how much if you lose, how much will your life be affected? Will your life continue like that? So someone may say, I'm a risk taker. Then you realize this person does not qualify there, because they have other obligations that are depending on this money. So that client, you take them to the level they belong. And then now you do that projection with given some level of the returns you are working with, some in the time horizon, and then now you present this to the client and tell the client, if we start with 1 million, doing 50,000 monthly or 100,000, we'll be able to hit your goal in 3 years' time.
In 3 years' time.
Or in 5 years' time. But this keep on changing because also the market is changing. So we keep on doing a review. That's why it's very important to do an investment review. After we have the proposal and the plan and we have started the journey, we come back and review and see how are we moving. What are the things? Do you have an increment maybe in terms of your income? What can you add? And you realize the moment you have an investment plan, the money comes. And I have good examples of clients. We started with
when the plan is there, money shows up.
Money shows up. But if you don't have, and that's the importance of the goal, because this plan now outlines the goal. The goal is very clear. The goal is very clear. So financing, the moment that goal is clear, how to fund that goal becomes easier. For many clients, I've seen that working.
I think I want to draw a parallel. You know, from what I'm hearing, an investment plan is financial aspirations of a customer on paper, isn't it?
Definitely.
And it reminds me, when you want to build a house, you have these ideas in your mind. I want a 3-bedroom house. Every room is going to be, everybody is going to ensuite. I want a big kitchen.
With a balcony.
I want a balcony. I want all these things. All these things are in your head. Then you sit down with your architects. And he listens. And then he comes back to you with the architectural plans that shows you now this is this. You can start seeing your house.
What was an idea?
You now see it on paper. You can even now start having visuals about how it looks. Nowadays even it becomes 3D.
3D. You're able to see
you can see how you can even move from one room to another. So what I'm hearing is an investment plan is so important because, first of all, it helps a customer to have clarity on where they are going.
Very important.
What do they really want to achieve, and what is the most important thing that they should achieve? The second thing is that it shows them how to get there. How to get there. So, and once those two questions are answered, money shows up.
Money shows up.
Yeah, somehow. Somehow.
So I think one thing you realize, people have some investment, money everywhere.
Yes.
But they don't understand why they are doing that.
Yes.
They don't even have a plan, says, now we have reached the goal. Someone just, I just set money aside. So those kind, when I meet them, now we have a plan and we end up now consolidating and having a journey that we can be able to monitor.
So you can see what again you're saying is that wealth creation is a journey.
It's a journey.
But then, here comes another question. How do you help your customers to stay calm during times of market volatility?
Wow. So the goal that we started with, it's very clear.
Yes.
When I place you, let's say you are risk averse, the kind of the securities I'll choose for you with the help of the investment team, they are the one that will assure you that in case there's a market volatility, your income, your capital first is preserved. And the goal that we set, because here you are not a speculator, there's a difference between an investor and a speculator. An investor is looking for long term.
Yes.
An investor is there despite the market changes. A speculator is coming to see, what can I make here? Move. So when the market is changing, someone is shaking.
Yes.
But as an investor, because of the clear goal we have, the investment plan we have, and we are reviewing that, that client are not worried. And the client also is involved in this journey, so they understand the kind of the securities that you're investing in. And in case of such time, that's when we have now market update. This is when we tell the client, these are the things we are looking at, this is where the interest rate is. Are we having an interest rate, maybe the benchmark rate is being reduced? What is going to reflect in your portfolio? How is this going to impact your portfolio? So as an advisor, I'm well informed and I'm in touch with the market. I know what is happening and how this translates to the impact we'll have on my client portfolio. So my clients are not worried because we already have a clear goal and we have a time horizon when we should achieve this. And there are also actually the good times also come. Despite the volatility, there are good times that are coming and we are able to double the performance. And there are times we switch. We switch from one fund to the next, or from one strategy to just to the next to be able to cope around with that volatility. So it's a time my clients are not worried because they're in touch with me. We are in touch. I'm communicating. So they are not somewhere wondering what is happening with my investment. So they don't panic.
I think that's another very interesting benefit of a financial advisor. They help you to choose the best vehicle that will take you to your financial aspiration safely. You know, it's like when I think of market volatility, I'm thinking when I'm flying, there's turbulence. You know, they will put you in a Boeing 777 that even when you are going through the turbulence, you will feel a little bump. But you will continue sipping on your cup of tea. Your peace of mind.
You continue enjoying.
But if you're in some light aircraft, you will be hit. And I think that is so important because your financial advisor is not just thinking about today or tomorrow. You're in a long-term investment investment plan. No, that's good. And how have you handled customers who have wanted to jump ship during times of market volatility?
Of course, as I said, clients are unique. And also as human beings, when you look on our behavior towards money, towards decision making, there's always that there are people who panic in different time. And of course, we have those clients who are like, hey Moses, I want to move. I want to have my money, or I've had something. That's the time you need to sit down with that client to help them understand that this is for this period of time. What are we doing on your portfolio? What are the people in the kitchen, the people, the investment team, they are working out the whatever the strategy. How is this going to insulate you from the volatility, what you are seeing? So communication is clear, is key in that journey, and helping the client to understand the underlying assets and the impact. So preempting everything. You don't hide, you don't just come and promise the client, I'm working on 15%, I'm giving you 10%. It's working with the client and to understand how that 10% we are generating, what are the assets behind that, and how that will be able to help you to weather through that volatility.
So communication is very, very key.
Very
you
important.
are able to articulate what the investment team is doing behind the scenes.
Yes, very important.
Can you share a story without names? Where your advice significantly impacted someone's financial journey?
Great. This is in 2021, beginning of the year, 2021, and I met with this client who had some money in a bank. Of course, has a good payslip, and the bank had approached this client. He had a land somewhere, and he wanted to put a home. And the bank approached this guy and like, we can give you a mortgage for 20 years. You'll pay us, the next 20 years you'll be paying us. And the calculation was coming to like 200,000 per month.
Every month?
Every month.
For 20 years?
For 20 years.
Wow.
You're gonna and when we met, he was like, yes, Moses, I want to own a home. I want to own a home right now because of my family is young. They're gonna enjoy the home. I have a land in a good neighborhood and I want to start now. And we did the math. They were like, okay, this is a good idea, owning a home right now, but the implication of this 200,000, actually it was 250,000.
250,000
every month because of how much he was going to access. And we said, how about we just delay owning this home?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yes.
And allow me, from the kind of small savings you have right now, let's invest in this fund. And we choose a strategy. One is that strategy that one preserves the capital, and a strategy that gives the growth of that money. So we choose an investment plan that every month he was able to earn an average of 15% with a compounding. And we said, we did the math, and within 4 years.
Every year he earns 15%?
Yes, annually.
Not every month?
No, it's annually. 15% annually, compounded.
I just didn't say that because people might take you on, they want that 15% per month.
No. That's not achievable in the market. And that's why
I also will want that investment.
That's such an investment. It's per annum with their compounding interest. So when we did the plan, we realized within 4 years, 4 years and about 6 months, 4 years and a half, we'll have hit the goal.
In 4 years, 6 months?
Yes. 6 months, we'll have this money that the bank is going to give him. And he remained committed with the bank for
20 years.
But now he can delay for 4 years and a half.
Wow.
And be debt free.
So you literally are buying him freedom for 15 years.
For 15 years.
15 years.
And what we did is, he started.
Wow.
When he started with the amount he had in the bank, every month he put a standing order with the bank. Every month 250 comes.
250.
The what was going to service the mortgage.
Yes.
Now it's coming to the investment account.
Yes.
The wife got attracted to this investment and promised the guy 70,000.
Yes.
That top up. Every month I'll be adding you 70,000.
Now it became 320.
To 320.
Yes.
And the things changed because when the goal is clear, as I said, the resources come. This guy would get financial resource, would get a bonus at workplace. He comes and put all of it there.
Sweep it to
between 2021 and last year was beginning of 2024. We had already hit the goal. That is 2022, 2023 years.
In 3 years time. What was supposed to be 4 years and 6 months?
6 months.
He achieved it in 3 years.
And he started the construction.
Wow.
And completed the house. Debt free. Right now, he doesn't owe anyone. And the portfolio, when we finished owning the home, we changed the strategy. And we said, this is going to work for education.
Wow. So there is even a continuity.
whatever he was putting to pay, like what he could have continued paying the mortgage for 20 years,
yes.
now comes in
yes.
to fund the account for education purposes of the children.
Wow.
And when he finished with that goal, we go now for his retirement.
Wow.
We are planning. So that's the importance of having an investment or financial advisor in your life.
Wow.
You have it clear. And I have a client, one of my other client, I told him, one was, he had some rental income. But this rental income, the size of the value of the property versus what this client was getting was not enough. And we checked some other properties he had somewhere, idle land and all that. And we said, these are consolidation, it's towards retirement. And we made a decision, can we dispose this?
So to sell the property?
Yes, of course there's that, you want to have a tangible asset, I want to retire with the tangible assets and all that. But what you need at the retirement is cash flow.
It's cash flow.
So this guy did have
cash
a cash flow.
King.
Yes, so we ended up selling this and we moved this money and the interest I'm making for him, every month I pay and part of that interest remain in the portfolio.
Yes.
If you look at where this portfolio is,
yes.
it has grown so much
yes.
compared to what he was getting as a rental. The rent income he was getting
yes.
was not enough to take care of his retirement.
Wow.
Right now he has a portfolio, the money is there, and every month I send him.
And he has excess cash flow.
Yes, it remains in the portfolio.
Yeah.
And once in a while he has a project or he needs some medication, just give me a call and I process that from this portfolio.
Yeah.